Are you guys tired of getting nothing but Pidgeys, Rattatas, Weedles, and whenever you crack an incense? Well, I discovered a trick to guarantee that you will spawn more rares without cheating, thanks to an article written by Pokemon Chomp from the Pokemon Go Informer website. If you haven't heard of this amazing tip, I'll briefly explain the theory behind it and then give you some tips on how to optimize your rare spawns while showing you in real time that this is a trick that legitimately works. Um, Today we have with me my son. He is my co-pilot. He is going to be operating our Pokemon Go game because you're not supposed to drive and Pokemon hunt at the same time, and I'm a big believer in safety. So here we're going to start off, and I will discuss what we're doing, why we go. According to the Pokemon Go Informer article, go ahead, correct. Okay. Where you crack an when you crack an incense, the Pokemon that spawn generally are not random. Rather, the game will take a look at your location and see what Pokemon are normally spawning there, and it will use that data to spawn similar Pokemon. Sure, you might get something rare to spawn occasionally, but if you normally catch garbage in the area that you're using that incense, the incense will only spawn more garbage. With that in mind, what if you were actually to go out into the middle of nowhere where Pokemon doesn't really spawn that often? Well, that's where the fun actually begins. According to the article, when you're out in the rural area or countryside like we are right now, where Pidgeys, Rattatas, or Weedles is about as rare as a Snorlax or Dragonite, the game has no information to use on what typically spawns. Therefore, it has to be more random with its spawn selection, and you end up harvesting more rare Pokemon. So, some tips on how to optimize your chances of catching rares are pretty simple. First, you find a straight gravel or dirt road like we have here. For the incense to work properly, you'll need to be at least 1 kilometer away from the last thing that spawned or showed up in your nearby sightings bar. So we're out in the middle of nowhere. 2, you're going to want to double check your road first to make sure that you maintain cell service. Even though it's 2016, not all rural areas can get strong enough signal to keep up with the game, and you don't want your game to stop in the middle of you don't want your game to stop working in the middle of cracking an incense. So this is our normal route into town, so we know that this is a good, for the most part, keeps our cell service. 3, working off another theory that the more Pokemon, or the further you walk with an incense, the more Pokemon spawn. That's why, so you'll want to drive down the gravel between 5 to 15 miles per hour. Not only will this help you hatch eggs, but it's fast enough to make you travel further during the 30 minutes, but slow enough so you don't miss anything. This is also why you want to find a straight road. And in 4, you're going to want to make sure your Pokemon are... You want to make sure you're stocked with Pokeballs, because there are no Pokestops nearby. So, what we have here on one side, you have my son's. He's showing what normally spawns on this road. And mine has the incense to show you what we actually catch. Hopefully, since we're doing this in real time, hopefully I get some really good ones to spawn up. Now, the amount of rares that spawn, that is completely random. You don't know. It'll vary from each incense session. But, you'll get a lot more than what you would normally get if you were in town and you are near a bunch of weedle and Pidgey and rat freaking nests. So some other tips for traveling on your gravel road: normally it's dead, so you don't have to worry too much about traffic, but if you do have traffic coming behind you, just be nice and kind of pull to the side and wave the person behind you on, so they know that you're not broken down and you're purposely trying to drive slow. We're going between 5 and 10 miles an hour right now. As you can see, it's a lot of nothingness. We are skipping over the Pidgeys and Weedles and rats today, just because normally I will catch them all just so I can power myself up or level myself up quicker, but because I'm only working with 63 regular Pokeballs today, we're going to focus mainly on the rare spawns.
Geodude.
Ooh. See? Look at that right away. Use a berry. I got enough of them. Ooh. See, Geodudes are very rare for us out here. I mean, we get them occasionally, but we don't have any nests or anything like that around. And I apologize now, we might have some eggs hatching. Just because we're going slow enough that it registers us as walking. And I can't stress enough, be safe when you're Pokemon hunting. If you are going to be driving, have a co-pilot like I have today, and we have every day. This is our normal routine for Pokemon hunting. But you see my son's side of the screen, and you can see why we have to actually drive into town to do any poke hunting, because it is absolutely barren out here. Every once in a while you have a rare spawn, but it is very uncommon. And not only do you have a rare spawn, but you have barely any Weedles, Pidgeys, or anything like that. They do occasionally pop up though. So now, why do you need to be a kilometer away from your spawn or last thing that was in your nearby? Well, the reason for it is because you don't want to crack your incense near any spawn point. So that's why you want to make sure that you're nearby and sightings bar is completely empty, and you want it to be that way for at least a kilometer. And like I said, you do want to make sure that the road will maintain that cell service. So I recommend driving down the road first without the incense on, checking it out, and then crack it and go hunting. Some of the things that we've gotten by doing this, we've done this several times now. We've gotten Machops, we've gotten the Geodudes, Sandshrews, Ponyta's, Pikachus popped up. at one point. The duo, whatever. And I apologize, I'm probably butchering these names, but what can I say? I am not a longtime Pokemon fan. I fully admit that I never played in the 90s, even though I was old enough and that was the big rage. I just never got into it. But this game I started playing because it was fun. It's kind of like a scavenger hunt. I like scavenger hunts. And I just wanted an opportunity to bond with my son here, who is going to be entering junior high. And you know how when you're in junior high, your parents are the least cool people that you know. We like Bell Sprouts. We get them in town, but not very often. So that's something that's it's normal for our area, but I have some characters to involve. We're going about 5 miles an hour. So much cord. This is Iowa, so yeah, you'll see a lot of cord. I will also tell you guys that if you are going down gravel roads and something rare does spawn, not from your incense, but out in the fields or whatnot, don't go in those fields. Those are people's property. Farmers don't like it. Especially if it's corn, do not go into corn like that, because you can easily get lost and you run the risk of not having cell service and nobody being able to find you. We have stories about that all the time. Also, you know, bring along a garbage sack to keep your garbage in the car. Don't toss it out in the roads, please. You know, littering is just bad anyway, but, you know, be kind to the rural folks out here. Because you never know which one has a shotgun. And you never know which one's watching you and we're willing to turn you in for littering and whatnot.
Taurus.
Ooh. Nice throw. I do appreciate you sticking with us. I know this is a long video, but I did want to show you guys in real time to show that this is a legit tip. And it's not cheating, that we were getting this legitimately from cracking an incense. We've got magnemites too, and let's see what else. Star U.
Magikarp.
Ooh, yep, Magikarps. I will evolve it soon.
No, not before me.
I'm close to 150. I still got a little ways to go though.
Shoot, and need to catch more Magikarps.
How far in am I out of my...
15 minutes.
Okay. If I get to the end before that this incense runs out, I will just turn around and go back up because
You probably won't.
let's see. This road that we're on is kind of close to 5 kilometers long, so it's our normal egg hatching road that we will take on our way home or our way in to go Pokemon hunting, just because it is great for egg hatching.
If you crack the incense, they will come.
Sorry. It is Iowa. I have to do a Field of Dreams reference. Again, the amount of rares that you get, it really varies between how many times you use your incense. But, you know, some days you'll get a lot, some days not so much.
Starru.
Ooh. So this is really a great tip to help you fill out your Pokédex. I just got a medal for having 100 Pokemon in my Pokédex. So in the main screen, I'm showing you what the drive looks like, so you can see just how straight this thing is. Your split screen, you have me with the incense and my son as the control, showing you just how barren this land is for Pokemon. Great for corn, bad for Pokemon. Oh, yeah! That's a good one! Woo!
It's like a bubble.
I know. It's so cute.
Not the view from above.
I am going about 5 miles an hour right now. It's bad on gas. But it is what we do to get good Pokemon. Now, I'm going to point out, you still do attract those rats and weedles and whatnot, but as you can see, so far we are getting a lot more rares than if we were in town and cracked the incense. We haven't determined whether or not time of day influences the amount that you get. So far, I'm going to say no. This is the second time we've gone about 8 o'clock in the morning, and I still have not spawned as much as my son did the first time. Yes, we skipped the drowsies because we've got so many from going other places like the Grout Museum in Waterloo. I've got so many hypnos that I've evolved. Once my incense runs out, we'll pull up my journal and we'll take a look at what all we've caught. Just kind of give a review. Sometimes if you're out in the middle of the country and something's on your nearby, if you restart your app, it does clear out your nearby sightings. So that's a little helpful trick. You can see a lot more rats and weedles are starting to spawn because they do kind of spawn down here more often. So that's why the incense is bringing more of those in right now. Better not.
Oddish.
Oh, that's not a bad one. Again, this really isn't cheating because this is exactly what the game was intended for you to do, which is explore places that you don't usually go. So, oh, and of course we're not operating while driving. That's why I got my co-pilot with me. He is so used to running both phones while I drive. And then when we're in town, we will park and, you know, walk a little bit. So it's not like we stick strictly to the car. And he has hopped on his own bicycle and rode down the gravel a few times to hatch eggs.
I could also just ride the lawnmower at full speed and hatch eggs.
Yeah. He discovered that one the other day. Is there time left?
3 minutes.
Alright, I'll just turn and road, go down the remainder of the gravel.
Egg.
Eggs hatching.
Frittata.
Ah. Good grief. Get my egg going. Please and thank you. You know, a good tip to know if it's not going to be that great of a spawn, or it won't spawn regular common Pokemon, is that you want as few houses as possible on the road. And as you've seen, there was only, what, like 4 on this road? Your nearest neighbor is like a mile away. Ah, don't waste my ball. Oh. Dang Pokemon wasting my balls. Guess what? It's more gravel. Oh my gosh. We are in the boonies.
Incense ran off.
Alright, well, let me pull over here. And really quick, I'm going to go back through my journal just to kind of show what we've gotten. And then that'll be it for the day. So you can see you got a Jigglypuff, Staryu, Magikarp, Tauros, Geodude. Not bad day, you can tell. Starting about here, this was a incense that we used yesterday. I actually cracked off several. See, Poinata. My son was wasting Pokeballs with all of them that ran away. Those were hatched, so you'll ignore those. The Sandshrew was incense. That was an incense. This is when we went into town so I could grab more Pokeballs. That was actually in town. We got a couple of good ones. So, yep. It's an actual legit trick. Something that you guys can do yourself. Use Google. Google Maps, and just kind of look around your area, and that'll help you find a nice straight rural road. And good luck to y'all, and comment on below what all you've caught by trying this trick. I wish you all the best of luck. Thanks for watching.